Snowpiercer. After a botched climate experiment, Earth freezes over. The world has frozen over. Humanity's last hope for survival is a giant train, endlessly circling the globe in a desperate bid to preserve life. It's a marvel of engineering, but within it lies a dark hierarchy. The rich live in luxury at the front, while the destitute are crammed in the back, barely surviving the frigid temperatures outside. But the tail section isn't silent. Curtis, a reluctant hero with a troubled past, becomes the face of a rebellion determined to overthrow the system. As the rebels fight their way forward, they face brutal resistance from the elite and uncover dark truths about the train's origins and purpose. The closer Curtis gets to the front, the more they realize that the train's journey isn't just about survival. It's a microcosm of a world trapped in endless cycles of inequality. The rebellion is brutal, violent, and filled with moments of despair, but it becomes a symbol of hope that humanity's soul isn't completely frozen. The fight for freedom is a fight for humanity's soul, questioning whether survival is worth it if it means losing the very essence of what makes us human. In the end, Snowpiercer poses a haunting question. Can humanity escape the cycle of oppression, or will they freeze to death in a world of their own making? Cloverfield. New York City is suddenly under attack. By what? The answer isn't immediately clear, and that's what makes the terror so spine-chilling. A monstrous creature, impossibly huge, emerges from the depths, tearing the city apart with reckless abandon. In the chaos, a group of friends armed with nothing but their cell phones and desperate courage document their frantic attempt to survive the hell unfolding around them. With every step, the creature grows bigger, the world more chaotic. The more they run, the more they realize the attack might be just the beginning. As the sky falls, humanity's greatest fear isn't just survival, it's the unknown lurking beyond the shadows. Annihilation. The Shimmer is the kind of mystery that feels like it's been here longer than you've been alive. It's a zone where reality is, well, just a suggestion. Scientists, brave or foolish, depending on your perspective, enter this alien territory, hoping to uncover its secrets. What they find is nothing short of madness. Plants twist into grotesque forms, animals mutate into horrific versions of themselves, and something darker lurks beneath the surface. But it's not just their environment that's changing, it's them too. As the crew descends further into the heart of the Shimmer, they realize there's no escape from the terrible truth. They're becoming part of the very thing they seek to understand. Berserk. Guts didn't ask for this life. Born from a dead body, he was thrust into a world of pain, violence, and betrayal. But the world wasn't done with him yet. As a mercenary, he fights against the darkness, but the darkness is something he can never outrun. From his tragic connection with the Band of the Hawk to the horrifying brand of sacrifice, Guts is bound to a fate that would break most men. The monsters he faces are literal, but it's the cruelty of human ambition and betrayal that cuts deepest. And all the while, the brand on his neck burns, a reminder that there's no escaping the hellish abyss that waits for him. His fight for vengeance isn't just about defeating enemies, it's about trying to hold on to his very humanity in a world that devours it whole. The Strain. A strange plane lands in New York City. The passengers are dead, their bodies drained of blood, and the virus they carry is about to turn the world upside down. Dr. Efrat from Good Weather is thrust into a race against time as the infected, vampire-like creatures called Strigoi multiply faster than anyone can control. The world is crumbling, and humanity is at war with an ancient, horrifying evil. As the Strigoi rise, so does the terror, and it's clear, this is no ordinary virus. It's a plague with a sinister purpose. The battle isn't just for survival, it's for the soul of mankind, and the clock is ticking faster than anyone realizes. The Pokémon. On the surface, Pokémon seems like a cute and fun-filled world, right? Trainers and their Pokémon, traveling through lush forests and battling in arenas, catching creatures in little balls. But under the surface, something much darker lurks. The Pokémon world isn't all sunshine and Pikachu. The creatures, some godlike in power, hold abilities that could warp reality itself. There are organizations that manipulate these creatures for their own gain and sinister forces at work behind the scenes, forcing humans and Pokémon alike into battles that are more than just about winning gym badges. And for every adorable face like Jigglypuff, there's a lurking presence like Mewtwo, angry, misunderstood, and capable of unimaginable destruction. Pokémon may be cute, but the world they inhabit is a dangerous place. Tales from the Crypt. In a dark corner of the world, the Crypt Keeper waits with a grin on his skeletal face, ready to recount another twisted tale, and you can be sure there's no happy ending. Each story is a chilling dive into human nature. Greed, revenge, lust, and the inevitable comeuppance. Whether it's a cursed treasure, a ghost seeking revenge, or a family that gets far more than they bargained for, Tales from the Crypt serves up horror with a twist of macabre humor. Each episode leaves you wondering, what price will you pay for your desires? And as the Crypt Keeper chuckles from his dark lair, you're reminded that the grave may be the least of your worries. The Black Hole, 1979. The USS Palomino discovers a ship long thought lost. The Cygnus, eerily parked at the edge of a black hole like it's tempting fate. But fate is only the appetizer. On board is Dr. Hans Reinhardt, a genius who seemingly kept himself and his crew alive for decades. Or so it seems. Because here's the twist. There is no crew. The humanoid drones roaming the ship? Yeah, they're not just robots. Something's off. Way off. What unfolds is a descent into madness as Reinhardt reveals his obsession, entering the black hole to discover what lies beyond. Spoiler alert, he finds it. And what awaits is a nightmarish afterlife, where heaven and hell collapse into a surreal cosmic fever dream. The message? Don't trust mad scientists standing next to interdimensional death traps. The City of Lost Children. Somewhere in a dystopian harbor town soaked in fog and sorrow, there exists a being named Crank, who has one terrible flaw. He can't dream. So he steals children's dreams, literally, with the help of a band of clones, a brain in a fishbowl, and other nightmares stitched together by the gods of surrealism. Crank kidnaps kids to siphon their innocence. But resistance brews. A strong man named One and a girl thief named Mietta venture deep into this decaying industrial underworld to stop the madness. Visually stunning and psychologically twisted, this universe feels like a dream you'd wake up sweating from. A warning from the subconscious. What if the monsters under your bed just want to dream like you? Adventure time? Oh yeah, adventure time. Bright colors, talking candy, goofy songs, total nightmare. Because beneath all the whimsy lies a post-apocalyptic wasteland called the Land of Oo. The Mushroom War decimated civilization. Mutants roam the earth. Magic is often the leftover radiation of nuclear horror. Ice King? Once a kind human, driven mad by a cursed crown. Princess Bubblegum? A monarch who builds candy people from flesh and science. Even Finn and Jake, lovable as they are just two tiny lights flickering in a world that's constantly teetering between rebirth and collapse. Adventure Time is a love letter to the idea that even in ruin, friendship might be enough. Moville Mysteries. This was the show that dared to ask, what if the X-Files was made for kids, but still managed to be creepy as hell? Moville, a sarcastic teenager in the town of Ouija Falls, investigates everything from alien abductions to haunted vending machines. The town itself is a paranormal Bermuda Triangle. Nothing works like it should. Time bends, and nightmares are Tuesday-level normal. It's a cosmic joke where every urban legend turns out to be real and horrifying. The best part? No one else in the town really cares, because when your neighbor turns into a were-chicken once a month, you just kinda roll with it. Stay curious, but maybe don't ask too many questions. Ouija Falls has a way of answering with a scream. V for Vendetta. Welcome to a world where fear wears a mask. London, under totalitarian control, has become a police state run by surveillance, censorship, and silent obedience. But in the shadows, one man dares to resist. V, a masked anarchist with a flair for the dramatic and a vendetta hotter than a Guy Fawkes bonfire. His war isn't just against the government. It's against apathy, silence, and forgetting. Through calculated terror and poetic justice, he inspires the people to rise. The real horror here? How close this dystopia feels to reality, because the most terrifying villains aren't monsters. They're people who convinced you they had your best interests at heart. The Mandalorian. A lone gunslinger roams the galaxy, baby in tow, hunting bounties and dodging death. Sounds simple. But scratch the surface and you'll find the bones of a dying empire, the fractured hopes of a galaxy still bleeding from civil war, and ancient secrets surfacing from the sands. Din Djarin isn't just a bounty hunter. He's a man struggling to find purpose in a universe where honor is dying and survival is currency. And then there's Grogu, a force-sensitive being whose cuteness hides the potential to rewrite the galaxy's destiny. With every step through desolate planets and haunted ruins, the Mandalorian reminds us that hope often rides a speeder bike, and it usually comes with a side of blaster fire. The Eraserhead. Henry Spencer lives in a world where everything feels like it's decaying. Factories hiss, babies scream, and time melts into paranoia. His child is a mutant lizard thing that never stops crying. His dreams? Dancing tumor women behind radiators. Lynch doesn't give you a plot. He feeds you raw dread. This is fatherhood, anxiety, and existential collapse mashed into a fever dream. One thing's certain. If you understand Eraserhead, you should probably talk to someone. The OA. Imagine waking up blind, regaining sight, then vanishing for 7 years, only to return with cryptic scars and a tale of dimensional ballet. That's Prairie Johnson, aka the OA. But behind her soft voice is a labyrinth of cosmic prisons and tortured souls. Held captive by a mad scientist obsessed with near-death experiences, Prairie and others die over and over again, just to map what lies beyond. But here's the twist. Those deaths? They're tickets to other dimensions, other lives. But escape doesn't mean freedom. Each jump costs more, pulling them deeper into a multiversal war of consciousness. It's not about timelines, it's about truths, buried inside interpretive dance, shattered realities, and a mysterious force called Khatun. Is she an angel, an architect, or just another key in a godless universe? The OA isn't about answers. It's about feeling your way through chaos. And when the final episode breaks the fourth wall, you realize maybe you were in the story the whole time. Don't hug me, I'm scared. On the surface, don't hug me. I'm scared looks like a quirky puppet show, but it quickly devolves into a nightmare. Each episode starts with a simple lesson: creativity, technology, love. But the puppet's innocent curiosity is met with dark, disturbing twists. As they dive deeper into these themes, the show reveals a sinister undercurrent, a world where innocence is corrupted, and society's expectations twist the very nature of these concepts. What seems like a playful, educational show transforms into a terrifying commentary on control, conformity, and existential dread. All right, now it's your turn. What twisted universe should we break down next? You've seen the stories? Now ask yourself, what if they're not fiction?